Okay, so here we are. We're all here. Okay. Okie dokie. We're on. I'm going to the second page of the handouts that I sent, the last one. Tribal trade relationship with early white traders. It looks like this. Tribal trade relationship with early white traders. Go to the second page of that. We're going to do the vocabulary first, and then we'll come back to the standard trade chart that we have here. So second page, Mazaska is silver, white metal was silver, and it means silver dollar. Mazaska, the silver dollar currency that was used back in the day. So just remember that some of these are always a good thing to know where words originated. The origin of Mazaska. So we knew about it. We knew about silver then. Or maybe we described it when we first saw the first silver dollar. Uh, so uh, we always say, Ikazo, the next one, make a mark X. In Ikaza, you make a mark like an X. And that would be the word Ikazo, which means making a mark. Grandma and Grandpa didn't read or write, so they make their X like that. And then the store owner, he would write their name. Uh, he would write their name, and then he would write his name after that. Uh, he would write his name after that, and so we know who signed for them. That's a ikazo. They just make their X, and the storekeeper fills in their name and his name, so that they'll know who cashed the pension check. They got old age pension check, grandma and grandpa. So we could go ikazo. They left the money there at the store. And when we go to the store, they'll say how much money got left. Then we could buy more stuff, and then they add it to how much you spent, and then you have some money left again in there. And so the storekeeper kept track of the money for the my grandma and grandpa. I don't know if he did that for everybody, but I know my grandma and grandpa, they had their money at the store. Uh, I think they call it fiduciary relationship. Is the in this case the store owner was the manager of the money for them. Okay, fiduciary is important because it comes in a treaty language also. So we've got to remember some of these catchwords that live through our Lakota life on the reservation. There's some catchwords that we are aware of or not aware of. Nevertheless, we still ate. We go get things to eat, and they mark it off on the receipt. The grandma and grandpa keep the receipt, So they know how much they got to spend. Get some potatoes, or I don't think we got potatoes because we had a root cellar, and the woman and man who were supposed to be taking care of me, they worked in Nebraska. That's come I was with grandma and grandpa at Kyle. They took care of me. I was too little to uh, fend for myself in Gordon, Nebraska, and up in the Sand Hills, south of Gordon. And so that's where they worked. And so I stayed in Kyle as a little tiny boy. And I only spoke Lakota at that time. So I know these words. Otechike. It's expensive. Otechike. It's hard to get. Anytime you hear Otechike, it's hard to get, it's expensive, or even hard times. A blizzard could be Otechike. It's very difficult. Okay, difficult to get or difficult to live in. Otechike. Uh, Lakota, they're familiar with this word, Otechike. It was always difficulties of storing wood, and hauling water. We had to have water in the barrels in our home, so that way we don't have to be always going all the way to the creek and getting water and carrying it back in case if our water pump froze. Sometimes the water pump freezes in the winter, so we have to depend on the creek way down there, and they haul the water back. So before it gets really, really cold, they start to fill the barrels with water so we could have water throughout the winter. You know, during the hard times. So they knew how to cope with the otechike. We have to learn to cope with the otechike. Now we have to learn to cope with the heat. It's the other way around nowadays. They said global warming for a long time, and I think it finally got here. You know, they talked it into it. They talked it into it, right? Yeah. They kept saying global warming, and we kept saying what global warming, and now we know what global warming is. Otechike. It's especially now, even Washington and Oregon, 107 degrees. They never did see that before. Never. Maybe 80 degrees was probably the hottest it ever got, and 107. And people who live in those cities where there's no heat anytime, they don't have any air conditioners. It's not in their uh, notion to have it at all because they never did feel any heat of 107 degrees. You know, so I remember in Arizona when the one summer, I forget how long ago, but it was so hot that finally the government, I don't know if it was the government or maybe the counties, they started to uh, put in air conditioners for the elderly. You know, they started to uh, make air conditioners available to them. And they probably installed them too. I think it was a program um, that had taken place down there. Sometimes movie stars are rich people, you know, they're uh, good caretakers of people. They help the people sometimes, and that's a good thing. They relax the otechike. You know, they kind of know about the difficult times. Some people, and it's good when you could find them. It's a good thing when you find somebody that would say maybe we should get them air conditioners. Uh, washakala. Washakala means it's cheap or affordable. Doesn't have to be cheap. Affordable. Uh, Sometimes the online sales, they make things affordable, and that draws a lot of customers. And then they uh, get people interested, and then the price goes back up because now they know the things of value. They teach things of value, and then they could reap the harvest by increasing the price back to what it used to be. It's a strategy for making money. Uh, I gotta stay at the same price all the time. Every time I trade for something, it's always the same price. They'll know me by that. Washakala, affordable, cheap. Ishikeya, equal in value. I'll give you this for that. Okay? Ishikeya, it should be fair and equal in value. So you can say, I'll give you this drum. Uh, I'll give you this drum for that rattle. Straight across. Okay. No, this rattle, it went through a lot of journeys. Well, this drum did too. Saw a lot of journeys. It had done a lot of honoring and girls' songs and boys' songs. It gained a lot of value. People recognize it. And you trade like that. You say how good it is. And it was a honorable sound. It had a good deep tone. It helps to have good sound. Ishikeya, equal value. When you trade for something, you want to say that that's worth this. You know, and so that car right there, I want to trade you for my wagon, my horse wagon. I don't use that anymore. And so I'll trade you for that car. Maybe you could have this wagon for an antique. It's an antique now. People are going to look for it. And it's got steel wheels. It's the old style. It's got a good. Uh, it's got a good uh, bedding on it. It has a good rack on there, so you could haul a lot of things with that wagon. It's strong. So I'll give you that for that. That'll be Ishikeya. Okay. Uh, Wanjicha is a $1 bill. Wanjicha. Okise is half a dollar, 50-cent piece, half a dollar. Shokela is a quarter. And Kashpapi is a dime. Kashpapi is a dime. Okay. Now we'll go to the copper penny is Manzashala, the red metal. Manzashala. And they had, in the old days, and we still do, the announcer would say, Manzashala Olawanji Iapo. Porcupine singers, Manzashala Olawan. That means an honor song. But Manzashala in the old days meant that whoever was being honored, somebody walking beside him would carry a hat, and people threw quarters, dimes, pennies in the hat for this person being honored. Or sometimes they put it in his hand, even a penny. Pennies were really expensive in the old days, back in the 1800s and in the 40s and 50s and 30s, when pennies started to show up as currency. They were pretty good to get things with the 5 pennies for a sack of durum. One of these sack of durum, it was in 5 cents for that, or maybe some places 3 cents, 4 cents. It wasn't too much. It wasn't too much. Now you try to buy one of them, it's probably $1.50 or something. As prices increased. I looked at some cigarettes. I think there were $7.50 for a pack of cigarettes. I remember when cigarettes were just a quarter for a pack. 25 cents for a pack of cigarettes. Now it's $7.50 for a pack. The good ones. There's other ones that cost $5, $6. Uh, so anyway, prices start to grow up towards the sky. Uh, so Mazashala Olo, was a penny song. It told people give the honoree a penny, and it's got penny. Somebody dropped 5 pennies in the hat. Whoever's carrying the hat for the elder or whoever. A penny song. That's a Maza Shalom. It means they're going to honor him and you're going to drop money into that hat to help the family, this person being honored. Because he has to turn around and pay for that drum group that's singing the honor song. Or maybe he wants to pay the committee, the powwow committee. Maybe he wants to pay the announcer too. Let's come people get together to help drop money for him so he could do an honorable thing of paying back to the powwow, the arena director, the singers, and the powwow committee, and the announcer. He gives them money for his honoring. When we're honored, we don't get gifts; we give gifts. When we're honored, we have a giveaway, and just because we're proud of ourselves, we're a proud nation. You know, when we're honored, we always turn around and give something to the announcer or singers. It's an honorable thing. Okay, Lakota word, literal translation, and surface English translation. Okay, here's the mazashkashka, moving metals, the little gears inside of a clock, little pinion gears and uh, wheels in there, the weight wheel, count, what do they call it? Uh, when you have a weighted wheel, idle, a idle wheel, where it keeps the clock going round and round. And so so they have an idler arm in there for that little round metal inside. I used to take clocks apart to see what was inside. Grandpa and Grandma said that clock's no good anymore. Kakoja, you could have it. Get a screwdriver and get the little wheels and I spin them. So they're like little tops. They go round and round and round. I just look at it and then I spin on again and look at it. They're going round and I was amazed about balance and equilibrium, momentum. I didn't know those words then, but I could feel it. I could see and feel that there was a distinct power of circular movement going on. I could understand that. Toys like that make us think by sight. And so later on, when we grow up, we're accustomed to mechanisms, machinery, especially for those of us who grew on ranches and farms. We see the wheels that turn the belt to wrap around the grinder, and then the tractor back up a little bit, tighten that belt, and then they put it in the hydraulic, the wheel that turns on the side, power takeoff. It turns that belt, and then it turns the grinder gears, and then it grinds the corn. So you use the power of the tractor. The tractor's not moving, but that power takeoff makes the belt turn, and it turns the grinder. So we know about things spinning from childhood on. If you're a person who really watched for things that were important to the life of these new things coming into our culture, wheels, mechanisms, belts, grinding belts. Also, we have windmills. the wind's pushing that uh, wheel around and round by those fins on that wheel. The wind is pushing it to make the gears turn, and then they have an offset arm, and it goes up and down, and then that shaft goes down, pushes and pulls the water out, pushes down, pulls the water out. Uh, they probably have some of those uh, mechanisms inside that goes down and then flares open and pulls the water up, and so they're able to diodes. They're diode. Something opens and then closes and it pulls up. I don't think they would use the word diode. It's probably more like a mechanism to flare, flare to bring the water upwards. I know a lot of places now they use jets. They use jet, the jet spinning, electronic spinning wheels, the spinning shaft down into the water, and then the jet pushes up the water. So we use electronics now to push a jet. They call them jets, actually, because it uses jet propulsion to push the water out. That's electric. And so there's, if you go out on the prairies, way on the prairies, so where's the water tank of all these farms that are supposed to be getting water from that big water tank, like the towns, they have water tanks for the faucets and things. Well, how about way on the flats? They probably have those jets, to push up the water for them. I don't know for sure. Now I have to look into it. I'm gonna have to Google it and find out how we're getting our water out way out on right out here. Where I live on the country farmland, and our water tank is little. How could it reach all the way to 10 miles away to that farm way over there? Maybe it could have that much pressure. I don't know. I have to find out. I'm curious that way. I keep saying I learn something new every day. And everybody should say that. I'm 75 years old and I'm learning something new every day. A weasel and an ermine? Yeah. Uh, the weasel, in the summer, it's dark color. In the winter, it's light color, almost white. And then they call it a ermine in the winter. I didn't know that. I just found out the weasel is the summer, same animal. Ermine is the winter, same animal. I learned something new. Okay. Now we go to Mazawakan. Powerful metal. What is that? Firearms, gun, rifle. Yeah. Wakan also means powerful, not only sacred and mystical and sometimes or holy. We we also use it as power, just like the power of the lightning. Wakangali, the power came home, so to say. And we're happy when it comes home because we get rain. It waters our plants, our gardens. So we're happy when we see thunder. There's thunder clouds today, but they didn't get here. So it's like drought. It's dry. We had a couple rains here last week, but it wasn't very much. But at least it watered our garden. The missus didn't have to water that evening because it rained. Oh, she was happy. And then we don't want to use too much water. We try to conserve water for the community too. So we were happy when the rain comes. We just water a little bit so that we could be able to keep our plants alive. I think we're the only one that have a garden here in Utica, South Dakota. We have 65 people living here. I think this year, I and my wife, I think we're the only one that has a garden. because other people probably were notified that it was going to be a hot drought like summer. So they probably put a notice out not to use water for their gardens. Well, we didn't know. And so we still have, we're the only ones that have a garden there. We're like little rebels or something. Actually, we're really ignorant. I don't go to the city meetings, so I don't know what's going on. And we're just private. We're a private little couple, and we like it that way. We don't bother nobody, and we don't want to cause any kind of you know differences or anything. We're just traditional little people that live it the old way. We live the old way. Although we're really educated, we still live the old way. We plant our own plants and we live off the land. We just love animals, and our plants, and my trees in here, my wonderful plants that I have a hibiscus over there in that window. They're exotic plants. We love them. We love them. So next one is Yechinkala the fast speech is Yechinkianke. Yechinkianke. I have a Spanish friend that says it sounds like it does, like a car. Yechinkianke. Yechinkianke. Yechinkala is the long version. Runs by itself. What runs by itself? Automobile. My missus says bio. Automobile. I say automobile. That kind of different a little bit. Auto by itself, mobile, moves by itself. It's Latin. Automobile runs by itself in Lakota. Automobile in English, borrowed from the Latin. We borrow from one another on words. About Mankato, it's supposed to be Mankato, Blue Earth. And words like that. Shakopee. It's supposed to be Shakpe for Chief Little Six. That was his homeland, Minnesota area. Big city there now. And so they have a big casino there. I forgot the name of it. Mystic Lake or something like that. It's a big casino. They had a conference over there one time, and I was invited. And I went over there, and that parking lot was huge. I didn't even know where I parked. I had to see the number of that row we were in, and I had to walk a long ways to get to that building and to the door. And finally, we got in and went to the conference. They gave us a motel room and everything. So we slept there and went to the conference again. And then we started home. Okay. Hogmia is rounded legs. Hugmia, rounded legs, and it's wheels. Hugmia. Uki. The legs are round. So it's the rounded legs, but actually it's wheels. Hugmia. Wheels. Okay. Vowel fusion for fast speech in Lakota language. Wa-i is contracted to we. So, example, wa-iyukse, things that are used to cut. It would be scissors. Wa-ikato becomes wichato. Wichato, tool to pound, is a hammer. Now, if you have a wa-ikato, if you have a K after I, you change it to a C. That's a coming out. Wichato. Wichato. Waichato. Waikato. It doesn't work. Waichato. I just put ikato because kato means to pound. I left that Kato there in front of, after the I in the deep structure. It's so deep that I left the K on there just to let you know. Kato means to pound. Wa is things to use to pound. Wa ichato or wa ikato becomes wichato, hammer, tool to pound things. Wa iut is a wiut is a tool to tighten, would be a plier, plier. U means to pull. Is is tighten, tighten. Okay. So wa iut is, and so you tighten it strongly. You tighten it strong so it has a strong grip, strong grip, and that translates also to the chantetiza. They have a strong grip on life. Chantetiza, strong grip on themselves, life. And so that's a chantetiza. It's a really exuberating strength that the bravehearts have. Chantetiza, chantetiza societies. Son, chantetiza okolakitche was a group of men that were the Braveheart Society or the Braveheart Group, the Braveheart Friends. So those were old days. Probably they probably had women that had a Braveheart Society too. I know in Lake Andes, there's a Braveheart Society there, and it was for girls, but now there's boys there too. That Braveheart Women's Society used to be a place where girls could stay and go to school from there. They were protected. Orphans or girls that felt a threat to them. They wanted to have a safe home. So that Bravehearted Women's Society used to keep girls and they went to school from there. They taught them how to cook, to sew their clothes, iron. It was a good program and it's still going on. But now boys are included and they have a better building. The Braveheart Society, they harvest. They go harvest sage and they live by the Missouri. So there's a lot of natural uh, infrastructure for harvesting. Even the yucca, they have a yucca there too for the detergent to wash your hair. That's what yucca root is used for, to help soften the water and to use it as a detergent. It cleans your hair really well. And I always cut small pieces and just boil it and then wash with the water. Sometimes you could get a piece of yucca and just rub it in there. You really have good clean hair, especially if you use rainwater. Save rainwater, that's even better because rainwater is very, very soft. Nice and soft water and clean. And so if you put a big barrel by your the water where it comes, the water drain system that comes to the side, when it goes into that barrel, you could save your rainwater for washing your hair and or even your clothing. You want good, nice, soft clothing, then you use rainwater, your hair too. Okay, a little bit about information too. It's usable. It's very traditional. You know, a lot of these things that I'm telling you, I probably never will say them again. So it's a good thing they're recording this. Uh, Waipasise became Wipasise, a tool to pin or safety pin or the cheapy pins. I had a whole bunch sitting here that I moved them way over there. I got TP pins that I made and for the camp. Our summer camp, they need always they need teepee pins for the teepees over there. And so I make them. I have some volunteer trees in the back, and every spring they come out, and I clip them and dry them and make them into teepee pins or drumsticks or whatever. I give them a chance to grow a little bit, and then they're mine. That's my harvest stuff. Okay, that's wipasise, a safety pin. Wa iatke, or wiatke, a tool to drink. Cup. Wiatke is a cup. Wiatke. Wa ipa, wa wa I. Hey, it's supposed to be wa ipa ile. There's a A missing after the P. Fill that in for yourself. I did. Wa ipa ile. Wipa ile, a tool to make light. And pa means you push it on. You push it on so the light comes on. Wa ipa ile. I had a little flashlight sitting here. I think I took it to the other room. Wa ipa ile, you push and it comes on. And the next one is, and there's many more. There's many more tool words. I just picked these because they're common in the home and they're usable. Lakota words used in both Lakota and English. Wakshicha, eating plate, dish, or platter. Okay, wakshicha. Okay. Wakshi shkokpa, dented dish or bowl. Wakshi shkokpa. Shkokpa means a rounded bottom. Shkokpa. I think Alan has a shkokpa, but it's a long shkokpa. It's a valley. It's kind of lower than the surrounding land. It's lower there, or the hills are higher, so it looks like it's lower, but actually it's probably flat. Running that water through that valley of those upraised cliffs and hills. Shkokpa, they call it. Towards Allen, from Kyle to Allen is Shkokpa. Yellow Bear Canyon, they say. Yellow Bear Canyon. Okay, that would be a bowl-like valley. Long bowl. Wakshishkokpa. Remember to take those to the powwow because you drink your soup. Take your own bowl. I got 4 of them in my car. Last giveaway, I got 4 bowls. So I'll take those. I'll get ready for Melk's Camp powwow. I have my own bowl to get my soup. Maybe I'll take 2 of them and put the other stuff in there, like the potato salad, macaroni salad, and actual salad, the greens, lettuce, and other things like that. The black olives, green olives. Oh. I can't wait to go to that powwow. They always have good food. And of course, fry bread, you know. Okay, we go to Cha'iyut is a body tightener. Would be a belt. Cha'iyut is it. Cha is short for tchachan, your body. Tchachan is it. Cha'iyut is it. Cha is shortened from tchachan. Tchachan is it. Body tightener, actually, it's to hold your pants up, belt. Or some of them is for ornament. The women traditional dancers, they use those belts that have the big silver conchos on them all the way around. They look awesome. So those Crow women use a lot of that. The Crow, they use a lot of the round conchos around their belts. And they have some hanging down, graduated, like big one and a little one, little one, little one, all the way down. They look good. They know how to uh, make themselves look good, ornamental. The Crow women, they use that as the controls. And some Lakota women too. They use controls to decorate their belts. Something to have, right? Something to have. Okay, next is hampa. Moccasins or shoes and boots, anything that's covering your feet. Hampa. Hampa. Akahampa. Over moccasins or over shoes. Rubber boots. Could be fur boot. Fur boots. Okay. Yeah, sometimes they wrap fur, uh, waterproof fur on your feet to keep warm. You know, you are really good at making things. Like this right here. Fur. Make this into a boot. Make it into a boot. Two of them. One on this side, one on this side. But you have to know how to sew really well. So you could put those inside of your overshoe. And they'll keep your feet warm. You know, that fur inside of your overshoe. You gotta get, you know, Lakota technology. We have that too, you know. Lakota, we know how to make things to keep our feet warm and Ogalahishma. You know the buffalo coats, the buffalo coats. Make yourself a buffalo robe coat. You know, put arms on it. Yeah, a lot of people are really good at sewing on leather or hides. So we're always saving things. I have a lot of things that I save. I carry, not sometimes I just carry sinew in case I need some. So I put this add it to my backpack. I load up my backpack with many things. If I go to a powwow, I know, you know, a little girl, a little boy is going to come and say, Grandpa, you got some sinew? My moccasin tore right here. I want to sew it back together for before the next grand entry. I said, yeah, there's some right there. I got some sharps, leather needle too. You need that? And then I have the I call them thumbkins. I make them myself. This is alkyd leather, and I put it in my thumb to sew leather with. It's like a thimble, but it's alkyd because the needle can't go through it. It's so tough. You can push the needle and then pull it out on the other side. Keep sewing like that. I made a lot of these. I have about 30, 40 of these. You know, every now my wife comes in and says, you have one of those thumbkins? I said, help yourself. I pulled my little bag out and she get one. You know, I carry a lot of them because I'm always working on repairing things, sewing things, you know, that are leather. So I have things that I really depend on. And I have an owl sitting right here that I depend on. It was sitting right here. Maybe it's still here. Yeah, it's still here. I made this out of a deer horn right here. Yeah, this is a good one. That helps to open up the hide a little bit, and then you put your sinew into help repair. The little kids, they always carry something. And they don't know how to carry a kit of things to repair things. They don't know to save things and have things, but they will if they have a mindset that Grandpa used to do. I better start having a kit to repair things. Even I carry the band-aids and things like that to be able to help when people might get a cut. Careful, you got a band-aid. You have to pull out a band-aid. I always let's carry alcohol. This is filled with alcohol. Clean it up for them. Clean it up. Also have peroxide. I have a little container peroxide spray. And clean it up for them and then put a band-aid on. So you have to be wise. You have to be wise. You have to have a kit. See behind me? All these are kits. All those are different kinds of kits for different things. No, you really have to keep up on things. I got paintbrushes and things in here in case I want to stylize something with paint. You know, some of uh, my the ornamental paints I use on some leathers. If I want to paint a fancy picture, maybe on a round leather, and then I could put it on my cap. I always use fingernail polish. So I have a big round container full of fingernail polish. It's really a good medium to paint pictures of designs. It's better than oil paint because it dries instantly. Yeah, you have to know those tricks. You have to know those tricks to make things look good instantly, quickly. Hurry up job, you know. Make designs right on site. You know, hey, I didn't see that last time. How'd you make that design, Grandpa? Hey, you got all the colors on there. It's really good that you have all the colors on it. And I have to tell them because I want them to learn. Okay, then we go to the Wapkoshna. Wapka Oshna. Fit it on the head, which would be a hat or a cap. Wapka Wapkoshna. And in Northern Cheyenne, they have hat keepers. Just like we have pipe keepers. In Lakota, we have pipe carriers. Over there, they have elders, well-respected elders that are hat keepers. Uh, and sometimes wapcha, wapcha, or it's a ceremonial bonnet. Wapcha would be a ceremonial bonnet. What Hollywood calls war bonnet. We say ceremonial. You know, it's not for war. Just because we see it in Hollywood movies about all those chiefs wearing this bonnets and then having a war. Ah, those are supposed to be sacred. Wapkaha, you know, Wakashka, they say it's war. We're a peaceful nation. Lakota, we're people who are friendly. Only when they started to fight us, we had to fight back. When they try to take everything from us, we had to fight back. That's the only time. Otherwise, we're as peaceful as a Christian. Maybe more peaceful. You know, the Christian brought the word peace, peaceful, holy, all of those, wakhan, you know, sacred. They brought those hoping that they could teach us about that. We already knew. We were already the peaceful people. And so sometimes you have to rewrite history and say, why are you going to tell us to be peaceful when we already were? You know, why? Why are you going to tell us to be peaceful when we already were? You know, you should have let us be and be peaceful and have our tradition, our naming ceremonies, and the things of love, wiping of tears. You know, that's a grieving process. We do that now for the soldiers. You know, the psychology departments, finally, we have programs for the veterans. Before they used to just call it shell shock. I don't think my uncles and them had any treatment after coming back from World War II. I don't remember them saying, I'm going to go to treatment for my shell shock. They start calling it PTSD. And there was a program for them, probably because they finally got money. I don't know. But now the psychology departments and veterans associates, veterans hospitals, they're starting to help the soldiers, and that's really good. That's the best thing to hear from the Lakota nation when we hear something that's really good for the people. We're honored to hear that because many of the Lakota volunteered to be in those wars too. Akichita, they were soldiers, and I think they deserve to get a feather when they come back, and then to add more and more after they become respected elders and their leaders in the community. Finally, they could get a bonnet to be able to be recognized as somebody who accomplished things of peace, things of value, things of generosity, things of fortitude, things of well-being and kinship. All of those are important attached to that wakaha. That's what it was about. Just to let you know how I think about these things, listening to other people, listening to the elders, listening to great talkers, the great people who are honorable. I like to listen to them. It builds in me a character that's unforgettable. It builds in me a ratchet that I move forward and not go back. Keep those values in a strong way. They hold on. Okay. Now we're gonna go to ongle, body cover, or ogle, some people say, is a jacket, coat, or a shirt. Ongle or ogle. And if you have a really good ongle shoka, a thick coat, oh, hold on to that. Sometimes in the winter it's really good. Today I was rounding up my winter coats because I'm going to hang them in the garage till winter. I don't think I need them anymore for the summer. So I'm going to go store my winter coats and vests and things. Today I was rounding them up, make room for the summer things and other things in here. And, so yeah, I was pretty busy hauling my ungle to the garage. Huyakon, worn to cover the lower leg, stockings and socks. Well, I just rounded up my socks. A whole bunch of them. I got winter socks and I got summer socks. This is all full of my summer socks. I got winter socks too for the winter to keep my feet warm. And, I really watch my feet because I'm diabetic. So I change socks all the time. And I oil my feet with coconut oil. Believe in coconut oil. Oh, it's just so good. It soften your feet, make you feel good. I even started using it on my knees, that coconut oil for the ligaments, so I don't get achy knees. So I use coconut oil for just like bear grease. Bear grease was our treasure. I have bear grease in my home here. I think I had it right beside me. I had bear grease right here. Maybe I still have it. I had bear grease sitting right here, right beside me. Keep bear grease. I use it for wase. Use it for wase, meaning the ceremonial paint that we use when the girls come out of when they come out of Ishnanti. Then we put the ceremonial paint, or red paint right there, all the way to the back. I don't know what I did with my bear grease. Maybe I put it away already. was right here. Yeah, I must have put it away. My berries was right there. Anyway, huyanko. So that would be the stockings or the socks. Wanapi. Wanapi. Glottal stop. E. E. Wanapi. Neck ornament, necklace, medallion, necktie. All of those are wanapi. Even the hair pipe, the hair pipe ornamental bones, menus. Women wear them downwards. The hair pipe breastplate is sometimes they're called. And for traditional dancers, a lot of traditional dancers use those hair pipe bones to make their breastplates ornament or decoration. Okay. Chuiganaka, placed on the back. That means the cut of the hide would be a dress. And so it's the top part is you cut the hide such as it goes over your back real nicely. And then some of them, they sew it into the bottom of the skirt. Some of them have an inside, and then they have a cape over the top. That cape would be a chuiganaka. Or a cape-like top part of the dress would be the chuiganaka. And it goes to your waist. And so I have a traditional women's dress right there, and it has a cape on it. It has a full dress, and then over it, it has a cape with the fringes. Yeah, I found that actually at a Goodwill. A Goodwill. I found it in a Goodwill. Somebody must have gave it away. They probably didn't know the value of it. I think I got it for $10, but I know it's worth a lot of money. Yeah, I know how much they're worth. But the pricers, they didn't know. Thought it was just a what do you call it? Garment split dress. But it was a deer skin dress. Oh, that was my lucky day. I like to go to Goodwill. Sometimes you find something that that's extraordinary, just like that. You know, found that there. Chuwiganaka. Na pinkpa. Na pe inkpa. The gloves fit over the fingers, and those are the gloves. Na pe inkpa. I'm gonna go for one more, and huyakuska, or huska comes from huyakuska, leg covering or leggings. Huska, huyakuska. So that would be the deer hide leg covering, or sometimes elk hide. Whatever you use, they really bead them, or they use quill work over the leggings, you know, for the girl dancers. You know, they dress up really nice sometimes. They have good leggings, and they have style, looking good, you know. So I'm gonna go that far today, and we'll finish off this word list. The reason why I started with this is because when we get to the actual trade relationship value words, we'll be accustomed to using some words of value on that first page. And that would be the next visit. Thank you for today. Have a nice day, and really good to be here for all of you. Oh, hey, Lomitaku.